A stroker motor.
Yep.
Rigid mounted stroker motor.
Yep.
And doing lane changes above 75 miles.
No, 70 miles an hour.
70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour or so. And it tracked good. Felt a little squirrely when we got going that fast.
But that could have been something in the road surface because I only did it a couple of times,
right.
And I would be a little bit uncomfortable at 85 or 90 with it like that.
But so. I think my point is that these bolt-on guys, and I wasn't kidding earlier, these are great for stock bikes.
Yeah.
If you got like your stock Softail, bolt that sucker on, ride that thing all day long. Now on my Softail, I have a similar one. I have the Seeger Cycle front end bolted on there, and it's steady all day long. Now, but I'll admit the way my bike is geared and powered, 70 to 75 that's about dead on top.
The other thing I wanted to make a little issue with is the fact that 3 separate times as well, I was in a cruising a parking lot looking for a place to park, and I damn near fell over. Now, I got to tell you, I think it's common knowledge that I'm no stranger to a radical front end.
Right.
Okay, I've been riding them for years.
Right.
All right, but there's something about this motorcycle, and it possibly is in the radius in that it wouldn't turn as far as I expected it to. You could take these fork stops out of here, put them in a mill, knock them down because there's a lot of meat there. You could knock a lot of meat off of those stops and give yourself a greater turning radius, which might have been the problem. But the end of the story is I'm going back to stock front end and see if that doesn't solve any of these issues that I've had.
So we're gonna take the Sinister back to a stock front end.
Back to basically a stock front end. We're extending them a couple inches, but I want to say the AME front end is a well-made piece of equipment. I mean, it's wonderfully chromed, it's beautifully made, and it just doesn't fit with my application. Right. That's all. I'm not saying this is a bad piece of gear and this is something you shouldn't want, because I think it's well made. Like I said, it's nicely chromed. Everything. The stem that lower tree rides on is, I think Little John called it bearing hardened steel. We were going to cut some threads in it so I could put a nut on it and run a little preload on it.
Forget that.
You're not cutting it.
So it's
hard, and
run this shot up. It gives you a real good idea of like how this bike sits with this front end. It really moves the whole. It really rakes that bike out a whole bunch, but keeps it real. Hey Warren, says Big Daddy Trash. I don't know. I lost the chat room. Came back.
See, I picked up about 8 degrees out there on the front end, and it looks great, ladies and gentlemen. And I love the way it looks, but with the way I ride and the way I handle a motorcycle, I think I'm a lot better off with the stock front end. But this is a fine piece of equipment. This is nicely made.
Cool.
If you're so inclined. In fact, we may have this one for sale.
Well, that's right. And speaking of for sale, man, we are out of time. That doesn't really have much to do with anything. Now, we did have a comment from somebody. This show needs to go another half hour. Daver in there says, you need to, wait a minute. Daver says, just one last thought. If the Native Americans would have given our pilgrim forefathers donkey meat instead of turkey, we'd all be having a piece of ass for Thanksgiving. Well, I tell you, that's
ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. It's been a pure joy to be with you tonight. You have any questions about the Sinister Softail front end change or anything? I will make an attempt to do an equipment shed on the front end change. There are a few small difficulties with Captain America. I'm going to get into the shop again this week, and we'll be back with a nice remote equipment shed piece for next week. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be interesting for you, and it'll be fun. Maybe see part of the motor you haven't seen before, stuff, and that's all I'm going to say.
It's going to be fun, and let me tell you, all you folks out there putting up pictures in the garage, Big Daddy Crash and Fat Bob and everybody Grumpy, all you folks who put stuff up, thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
Keep those pictures coming, folks. It's your show.
Crash, email me about the art thing. Email me about the art.
Yeah. You can get in touch with them via
the painting. Absolutely.
Anyway, KickStartTV, www.kickstarttv.com. Don't forget it. Put your stuff up in the garage. You put it up on a Tuesday morning. It'll be on the air Tuesday night.
Warren at KickStartTV.com.
If you got nice things to say.
Trash at KickStartTV.com.
If you don't have nice things to say.
Or you have photos.
And we'll see you all next week, folks. Thanks a lot. Don't forget,
good night.
KickStartTV. We'll be back next week.
Start TV, the show that cares about what you've got to say about the world of motorcycling and motorcycle building.
I got a beauty.